Everybody said it was easy. Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. It has not even been 24 hours and I'm already sick of this whole Oscar mishap thing. But in the moment, I have to say I was very shocked. I was very entertained and very amused. And I guess a lot of people felt that way. But a lot of people that night were robbed of their joy, I guess you would say. You had the people of La La Land, of course, who thought that they won, and then, surprise, you didn't! And then you had the people of Moonlight who thought that they lost and found out they actually won, and now they had to do something very difficult and take the award. Not that it was theirs in the first place, but they had to take the award that was given to La La Land. And I can imagine that's not an easy thing. The people of Moonlight were also robbed of their moment as well, because they didn't have the little song playing as they went up. I don't think they played their score because it was such a shocking moment. They didn't have that feeling of like, wow, we did it. It was more like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. So they were robbed as well. And then there were the fans who really had high hopes for La La Land winning, and well, that's not what happened. That feeling of being robbed of your award, your moment, it's not an easy thing, and I think it's something that a lot of people face in their day-to-day life, especially if you're somebody who participates in competitions, or you're used to competing with other people and you're used to wanting to be honored for the work that you do. It's very difficult to not receive it when you thought that you would, or literally did receive it and then, of course, have it taken away. But the reason why I'm so sick of this whole thing already is because I know it's going to be this whole big gossipy thing for a while. Like, oh, why was it the wrong card? And how does this person feel about it? And this and that. And like, what does this mean? Oh, was it really deserving? And blah, 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 blah. And for me, movies are movies. And movies are powerful. And art is powerful. And art is not about the award. And I know that's difficult. And it's something that I myself had to learn. There was a story that needed to be told, or there was some kind of project that needed to be done. The award is great, and the award is a great push, especially an Oscar. Like, look at me talking about getting an Oscar not being a big deal. Of course it's a big deal. But I think that our culture is so focused on what are you going to get in return for what you give. And that's not what art is about. And I know a lot of people feel that Hollywood films are not art. All right, fair enough. And of course, there's a lot of films and a lot of great projects, great art projects that do not get this level of recognition or even close. And as soon as the Oscars were over and the news came on, I was immediately reminded of things that are much crazier that are going on than what just happened with that mistake. And you know, those crazy things that happen in a day-to-day world, painful or happy or sad or whatever it is, those are the reasons why I think art is made. To make a point, to have a purpose, to say something that maybe nobody else is saying or nobody is saying the same way. When you take a movie like Moonlight, why do people love that movie? Because it told a story that was never told before. A lot of times when a black person is cast, they're cast into like a stereotypical role. So a film like Moonlight that was not stereotypical at all, it was just a story about a child growing up and what he went through, is such an honest portrayal of people. La La Land is a movie that a lot of people were gravitated to because they could relate to that artist's sense of wanting to succeed and how will we succeed and oh, we dream so much. And there's a lot to relate to there. So that's also a message that was made. Art is so much more than accolade. Even though this was a moment that was robbed from different people in different ways, you press on and you move past it. And if you really care about it, I encourage you to think about the films themselves. Focus on the films themselves more than the awards. I know the awards are an exciting time. You know, we did an Oscar prediction video. There have been times where I've gotten very emotionally attached to wanting certain films, certain people to win. That didn't really happen for me this year, but in the past it has. I just encourage you to focus on the stories, or focus on what makes you happy about movies. And if you're an artist, focus on your craft and focus on the story that you want to tell. Don't think too much about what you're going to get out of it. Because guess what? If you keep doing what you love and you keep channeling your craft in different ways, each time you get inspired to do something, eventually you will get that recognition. You will get that Oscar. Even if it's not literally an Oscar, you will get that level of accomplishment that will make you proud of what you did. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this whole Oscar mishap. I know I said I don't really want to talk about it, but that whole notion of being robbed of your moment, what does it mean to you? And how do you deal with it in your life? Or what do you think about this whole crazy thing that just happened? All right, see you next time.